Step 2, let's load the tissue. We've got to get the muscles and tendons strong if we're to get back to what we're doing pain-free. So let's start with some seated elbow work. Let's start with wrist flexion and extension. So find a seat where you can sit comfortably and rest your arm on the arm of a chair or on a table, somewhere you can keep your shoulder completely relaxed. So we're focusing on the wrist, forearm and elbow. Here I'm using a resistance band. I'm just standing on it, and as you can see here I extend the wrist up and slow and controlled release it back down. So try and work to a count of 3. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. This should be pain-free and easy. If it's not, use a lighter weight. Now let's look at wrist pronation and supination, rotating at the wrist. Same thing here, I'm using a resistance band and I'm slow and controlled, pronating and then supinating. So rotate, palm down, rotate, palm up, shoulder relaxed, rotate, palm down, rotate, palm up. And again, repeat in a pain-free range, slow and controlled. Now, ulnar radial deviation. Again, using my resistance band here. So as you can see, my thumb is up and then I'm bending that wrist up towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulder relaxed. So raising that thumb upwards, a motion you're probably not that familiar with, but really helps to work all of the muscles through that forearm. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, and 1, 2, 3 down. So repeat this again in a pain-free range. Now, use whatever weights you have. If you don't have a resistance band, you can use a light 1 kilo dumbbell like I'm doing here. Exact same action, but you just want to make sure that you can do slow controlled movements without pain. If you can't, it's too much, use something lighter. That could be a can of beans or even a bottle of water. What I love about a bottle of water is, depending on how much water you put in it, you can progressively increase the load. So there are lots of options, but look to find something you can do pain-free and that you can increase over time. And the final exercise in this series is strengthening your grip. So you could use a tennis ball. I'm just using a harder massage ball here, and I'm slowly squeezing that ball for a count of 2 and releasing. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So strengthening your grip is going to help load those tissues of the forearm and help get your wrist and elbow feeling better sooner. Play with the angle, so I'm starting here completely relaxed, forearm on the bed, but as you progress, flex at that elbow to different positions. You may find that using these muscles feels different in different planes, or that you only get pain when your elbow is bent at certain degrees. So it's really important that you vary the angle your elbow is at with the exercise. So here I'm bent to about 45 degrees, same action. Squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And again, working right up at that end of range here, so I'm flexed right up to my bicep, and again, squeezing and releasing. So in summary, find somewhere you can sit down and you can place your forearm, which allows your wrist to flow freely over the edge so that you can move freely. Also somewhere where you can completely relax your shoulder, so it needs to be supportive, the arm of a chair or on a table, for example. Now, using a resistance band or weight, you're going to slowly extend your wrist upwards and then slowly release it backwards. Also work on that rotational element, pronation and supination, and also doing that thumb up towards ceiling, so that ulnar deviation. Remember, slow and controlled return to the starting position each and every time. This is about quality of movement, not speed or quantity. Repeat and build to about 3 sets of 15 and perform every second day. It's important that you also have rest when you're working on load. You should always work in a pain-free range and look to increase the load of reps every 7 to 10 days. You need to gradually increase load to get things back to where you want them to be.